Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the door controls. They're part number PPW-475 SQFM. This item is a kit of equipment necessary to provide push plate access wireless over an automatic door. And I have a box open. We're going to go over all the constituent parts. It is going to include 2 push plates. It's going to include 2 transmitters, and it will include a receiver along with 2 flush mount boxes. So let's dive into it. We're going to have, first of all, 2 transmitters. In this kit are these BEA part number 10TD 433 PB9V. And let's go through these parts one at a time. The transmitter is going to feature flag connectors, and the flag connectors will connect to the what's called the cherry switch that's on the back of the push plate. So the part number is 10. Okay, T is for transmitter, or TD, transmitter. 433 is the megahertz. It's a PB for a push button, and it's a 9V for a 9-volt power supply. And it does indeed include our good old trusty 9-volt battery. Okay. So these are the flag connectors, and if you use your imagination, you can see why it's called a flag connector. There's your power supply connector. There is your 9-volt battery. Okay, so that's your transmitter. Really easy, simple, and straightforward. This will include a couple of pieces of hook and loop tape that will be used to secure the transmitter inside of the box that you're mounting this to. It will include the ability to get that secured so it doesn't just lay loose within the box. There are installation instructions with this item. They are tragically simple. They are super simple. They are linked to down below, and in fact, the installation instructions refer to the receiver, really, than the transmitter, because all the work is actually done on the receiver in terms of pairing the transmitter to the receiver. The instructions do show the associated items. You can also do this transmitter as a 3-volt battery as well, a small little round 3-volt battery. This is the typical 9-volt battery. They also have handheld wireless transmitters with 1, 2, 3, and 4 buttons if you needed to operate different things from the same transmitter. The installation instructions literally refer to the receiver, so we'll go over those at that time when we get to the receiver. Let's take a look at the next item I pull out of the box. That is indeed the receiver. That's going to be an RD. That's receiver, 433 megahertz. BEA manufactures this equipment. They are certainly the premier manufacturer of wireless equipment to control a variety of things. And obviously an automatic door operator. If you want to be able to open a circuit to drop power off of an opening so that a door can be pulled open, it can do that. With the receiver and its capability of having integrated relays, you can control lots of things. The receiver doesn't have integrated relays. The sister product, they do have a... Let me pull up that part number since I spoke a little bit too quickly. The BEA... That part number is their 10BR3. It's got a 3 relay capability on it that you'll be able to control lots of things, obviously. So we're dealing here with the 10RD433. Obviously, for connecting to whatever you're controlling with it, your antenna. Okay, so turning this on its end, you have your power supply. You have your common, your normally open, and your normally closed. Okay, that's simple and straightforward what you're dealing with. If you are going to be connecting this to, you're obviously connecting this to your operator. In this instance, you've got push plates. So that's going to go back to your controller. Normally open, normally closed, and common. You've got your dip switches, your delay setting, and let's, a couple pieces of hook and loop tape as well. Let's take a look at the installation instructions. And all of these instructions are linked to down below the video so that you can review all of it. So to put the item into programming mode, you've got to learn with a delay or learn without a delay sort of functionality. You very likely are going to want a delay, assuming that you have some locking hardware on the door. You don't want your automatic door to immediately start opening until, although the logic for controlling an electric strike will certainly be on the unit itself. But that installation instructions may or may not look like this. You know, these documents do seem to evolve with time. They do have an extended hold version of the 10RD433, and you add an EH to the end of it, and that will give you greater capability over the hold time. And really the only work that you have to do is set the dip switches that are on the front of the unit. Okay, and they do indeed, yeah, they don't define those, but they are of course defined in the installation instructions. You can have a pulse or a toggle operation. A toggle is push to open, stays open until you push to close. A pulse is going to be just momentary activation when you press it one time. The proper definition of toggle is press transmitter once and relay output is active indefinitely. Press transmitter again and relay will de-energize indefinitely. Dip switch 2 settings, so that's dip switch 1, pulse or toggle, 1 or 2. Or on or off, not 1 or 2, on or off. Dip switch 2 is in the off position. You're going to get a half-second hold time. Relay active for half of a second after loss of activation. If it's on, it will be active for 10 seconds. So you might want to have the ability to, and that's where the extended hold model comes into play, the EH model, because you've got greater control. An example of that might be where you want to push a button, retract the electric deadbolt, open the door, close the door, but wait for the door to get to the closed position before you re-energize the electric deadbolt for it to then relock. Okay? Or to drop the power out in a fail-secure installation. So having time control over it might be how you could utilize that. In the handheld configuration, set receiver dip switches to the desired activation cycle and the operation mode. Press the learn with delay button or learn without delay button on the receiver according to the activation requirements. If learn with delay is selected, turn the potentiometer clockwise to set a 0-second delay. After the learn cycle is complete, adjust the potentiometer to the desired time, which is 0 through 30 seconds. Okay? Press the transmitter button repeatedly until the blue LED on the receiver illuminates, and then repeat if you've got more than one transmitter. Test the system, making sure that it works. By pressing the transmitter button, red LED should illuminate, and observe that the blue LED illuminates on the receiver. Okay? That's everything as it pertains to the receiver. Removing codes, press both, if you want to drop a transmitter off, press both the learn with delay and learn without delay simultaneously until the red LED flashes once for 1 second. Step 2, press the transmitter button twice within 10 seconds and the transmitter code will be deleted. If you want to drop off all transmitter codes, press and hold the learn with and learn without delay buttons simultaneously until the blue LED illuminates and then release within 10 seconds. Okay? Indicates your wiring. Legend here, red and black is going to be your power, terminals 1 and 2. Common is the white, green is the normally open, and gray is the normally closed. So black, red, okay, we don't have a gray wire on this. So you're going to, yeah, it does say typically not used. So your green is going to normally open right now, and you'll obviously switch that to normally closed should that be what you're going to run it as. That's your potentiometer right there. It's like a volume button. So that covers the receiver. Very simple and straightforward. These are very routinely installed by someone with zero prior experience with complete success. It's like a garage door opener, although it just seems easier to do it, to install it. Okay, then we're going to have our boxes. There are indeed two of them, and I'm going to cut one of them out of here so we can take a closer look at the flush mount box. And this item, of course, is naturally very simple and straightforward. It's just a molded plastic box. You're going to get this little package of gizmos. Hang on to that. We'll talk about that in a moment. A couple of machine screws. This would be called a wall clamp. I would know this as a wall clamp. You also see wall clamps in commercial restroom equipment if you want to put a toilet paper holder into a hollow wall. You'd very typically push that through the opening, draw the screws down, and tighten it with your wall clamp. And indeed, that's how this works. I'm going to quickly assemble this here and give you a look at how that's going to work. Okay, so we've got those two screws into our wall clamp. Okay, and you can see what happens. You're going to push this through your opening. Okay, you're going to get this fixed down over your wall. Push your screws in, and then you'll be able to draw that up tight and get it clamped onto whatever you're installing this to. Okay, so that's what the 4 3/4 square flush mount box looks like. Let's take some dimensions of the item. Outside, about 6 5/8 by 6 5/8. Inside, 5-inch, maybe just heavy on that, by 5-inch. Overall depth, we basically say that it's about 2-inch. About 1 7/8 or so on the inside. Okay. Now these push pins and these are push pins, and this is a battery clip. You can literally insert those into these little partially drilled holes in order to, and the transmitter came with some hook and loop tape, but those push pins can also help you get them put it into your box and use the push pins to hold those in place. The battery clip obviously goes down into that slot and is meant to help you keep the battery in place. You don't, again, just want the stuff laying loose inside of there. So these pins in the clip are used for that purpose. Okay, that is the flush mount box. The last item on this bill of materials is naturally the push plate, and there are two of them. I won't take them both out because they're identical. This is a 4 3/4 square plate. You can also get your hands on 4 1/2-inch square plates. You can get your hands on 6-inch round. Can't say one is more common or popular over the other, except the square seem to be more common over the round. 4 1/2-inch is pretty typical. So this model is the door controls model DC10011. So this is a PTO H cap. So this is going to have a push to open PTO language with the handicap silhouette on the plate itself. Okay. Excellent, exceptional quality. Anywhere that you can push this plate, you're going to draw activation. You can hear that clicking sound. You've got a 4-gang box on the back, typical and straightforward. This is what they were going to call a cherry switch. I'd call it a micro switch. You have your, you won't be able to see it, but that's your well, you can though. Common, normally closed, normally open. That's where your flag connectors are going to go. That's where it's simple and straightforward. You're going to get these flag connectors. You won't need them. You've already got them with the transmitter. You're going to get a couple of wire nuts. You know why you're going to use those. Actually, no, you won't use those in this case. You're going to have 4 machine screws and then this Allen wrench. The machine screws are going to be partially installed into your box. You'll hook this over, and then through those very discreet holes, you'll run your Allen wrench to get that secured down into your unit. However, in your box mount, you're going to be connecting it to those brass insert bushings that are there. That you're going to secure it to this once this is secured to the wall. There is not much else to say about this. You just have to decide, will your circuit be normally open or normally closed? I would say that normally open would be typical for such an arrangement. It could be otherwise. Okay. Very exceptional quality. Installation instructions are down below. It is really a document that just shows the other options that are available. 4.5-inch square, 4 3/4. A jam style, if you're going onto a hollow metal frame, you could use that because it's very petite. It's only 1.5 wide. And then that 6-inch round that you see there. Other accessories like bollard posts, those are not unheard of. Then of course your transmitter and receiver, that's already included. Everything on the inside of here is just, you know, cautions and warnings. The installation we've just gone over. The back page is basically blank. So there's literally not much to this. So there are links below this video to all of the associated installation instructions. There's a link below this video as well to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the door controls products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website as well as a link to the full product catalog. The name Door Controls is synonymous with automatic door equipment, whether they are selling or remanufacturing well-known brand names and high-energy and low-energy automatic door equipment, or their own line of operators. They have a very robust sliding door operator that is used in new installations or in retrofit installations. They have a couple of models of swinging operators, and I have used those models, especially the swinging, to great effect because they're very robust units. I've been to the plant. I've seen their operation and have witnessed how it's manufactured and tested, thoroughly tested. I've seen the units used. They are simple and straightforward. The documentation is relatively simple and straightforward in terms of, okay, I've never put in an automatic door operator, but the way they've put it together makes it accessible. Their technical support is complete and thorough, exceptional. These people are eager to help. To the point where they follow up unprovoked to just make sure everything worked. Wiring diagram is available. Installation instructions, of course, again, clear and straightforward on that equipment, and really, really well priced. If you have any questions on the door controls, DCM, PPW-475 SQFM, push plate starter kit, or any other door controls product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.